Number 31 says a book club has 200 members. Each member was asked whether he or she prefers fiction or non-fiction books. The results are shown in the relative frequency table below. Alright, so we just did question number 30. So if you didn't do that, you may want to go back because I mentioned again about what relative frequency tables are. So again, these decimals represent the percents, just in decimal form, of the total number of people, so of the 200 people that were in these age groups and that preferred either fiction or non-fiction books. So as I mentioned on the last video, the total should always add up to a grand total of 1 in this corner. So if you add up the 21 to 30 year olds and the 31 to 40, then add up those percentages, you should get 100% or 1 as a decimal form. Same thing for adding up the fiction and non-fiction percentages. When you total those all together, you should also get 1. Okay? So whether you add across this way or down this way, you should get a grand total of 1, which represents 100%. So as we look at this, this particular question says which statement is true. Part A, 6 more 31 to 40 year olds than 21 to 30 year olds prefer fiction. So if this statement is true, then that means there are 6 more people that prefer fiction in this age group than in this age group. Okay, so if we look at this, this says 38% of 200 prefer fiction in that age group. So if we do 0.38 times 200, and we can plug that straight in our calculator, and that's going to give us a total of 76 people. So 76 people prefer fiction that are age 31 to 40. And then if I do 0.32 times 200, this will give us the number of people who are 21 to 30 who prefer fiction, and that is a total of 64. Okay, so these are the 31 to 40 year olds who prefer fiction, and I'll use the letter F for fiction, and 21 to 30 year olds who prefer fiction are 64 here. So if we subtract 76 minus 64, that gives us a total of 12. 12, and so it's definitely not 6. Alright, it's actually twice that number. Alright, looking here, 38 members are 31 to 40 and prefer fiction. Well, we just found this total a second ago. It was 38%, okay, so that's probably what would trip people up here. 38% prefer fiction and are 31 to 40, but there are 200 members, and 38% of 200 is equal to 76, what we just found here. So again, that was actually twice that number. Part C says 43 members are 21 to 30 years old. So this is talking about the total number. If you notice, there's no classification here of fiction or non-fiction. This is just all the 21 to 30 year olds. So total, that was 0.43%. Okay? Or 43%, which is 0.43 in a decimal. So if you do 43% of 200, again, we multiply by the total number of people in the club, and that's going to give us 86. Alright? So once again, this one doesn't work as well. So that means D has to be correct, and we'll just check it to make sure. It said 140 members prefer fiction. So we look for the total number of people that prefer fiction, which is 0.70 or 70%. And if you do 0.70 times 200, you get 140. Okay, so the correct answer here would be D.